but one receiveth the prize. So run that you may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly. In other words, I know where I'm going.
Yes.
So fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body, yes, and bring it into subjection.
Thank you, Jesus.
Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. For just a few moments, I want to preach to you on this thought. Passion or pastime? Passion or pastime?
Jesus.
In Jesus' name. God bless you. You may be seated. A number of years ago, I was in Los Angeles, and on an outing with friends and family, we made our way toward Universal Studios. Universal Studios is the place where movie characters are made famous by billions of dollars being spent to create atmospheres of fakery. I'll never forget getting on the tram, going throughout the different scenes of Hollywood. I crossed over where Moses crossed over in the Ten Commandments. And as the tram rolled up to the water rolled back in the ocean. It was the same body of water that Jaws was created in. And as we began to make our way throughout the different scenes of Hollywood, I'll never forget turning the corner. And to my surprise, looking down a long street was a street full of buildings. On the left side was a beautiful mansion. It looked like the rich and the famous have spent many nights there. As you look to the right, there was the saloon. And in my mind, one can envision the music and the sounds and the excitement that goes along with such activity. Traveling down a little short ways was a beautiful motel. The rich and famous used to stay in that motel in Hollywood. Across the street was the jail. And you could visualize the sheriff as he'd made his way out to the middle of the street, and Matt Dillon would pull his gun in a gunfight. We made our way down that street, and there were all kinds of houses to the right and to the left, buildings on the right, buildings on the left. And it was a beautiful scene to behold. And as we were driving along on that tram, as we got toward the end of the street, we turned the corner. And as we turned the corner, I looked back to the back of that street. And to my surprise, that street was not a street of real homes. It was not a street of real motels. It was not a street of saloons or jail cells. But they were only just a facade. Only about 12 to 15 feet wide. It was make-believe, if you please. And there was no excitement in the back of those houses. There was no rich and famous in the back of that street. There was no enthusiasm and activity going on the backside of the main street. It was a street of fakery. And that's what you see when you see the movies of Hollywood. You see the front side of a facade, but behind that facade is nothing but just a bunch of boards and props and all kinds of activity going on. And I was thinking about this yesterday. I wonder sometimes when God starts walking down the main street of our heart. I wonder if sometimes he sees, we see it's a shout on the outside. They're quick to run the aisle, to talk in tongues, and show a front of excitement, and a front of enthusiasm, and a front of joy, and a front of peace and contentment and happiness. And people put on a show when they're facing the cameras of life. But I sometimes wonder that when God turns the corner, He sees that we are not what we think we are. We wear a mask and we tell the world that we're one thing, but in reality, behind the scene, we're not what we're supposed to be. I watched a young boy at the age of 16 as he every Saturday would knock doors, teach Bible studies, run bus routes. I watched him at an early age go to the prayer room, sometimes pray an hour or two, 3 hours long, sometimes all night long. I watched that young man as he began to develop passion in his life. I watched him as passion and desire began to grow. I watched the young man as the things of this world, while everybody else was playing baseball, and everybody else was playing volleyball, and everybody else was enjoying the scenery of life. I watched this young man close the prayer room door, and with a red hot desire touch the throne of God, and how God walked down and put a passion and a desire in his heart. I watched him as he began to grow through life. Yesterday I watched that young boy as he began to grow and multiply in his multiplicity of talents. He was very shy. He was very timid. He was very bashful. But all of a sudden, as passion began to grow on the inside, the things of this world began to grow dimmer, and things that used to be important to other people were not important to him. I watched him as he started the ministry. I watched him as he went through the years of pastoring. Lies, false accusations, all kinds of stumbling blocks thrown in his way, good days and bad days, revivals and years of no revival. I watched him struggle through depression, frustration, and defeat. But in the midst of all of it, there was a passion and there was a desire that drove him to go toward the finish line. This is the week of the Olympics. The opening ceremony was Friday. All of us on the internet have been watching the different events that are taking place. One young girl developed a hamstring in her leg. Her responsibility was to run and do a gymnastic flip and try to win for her country. She told her coach, "I can't do it. I'm hurting. The pain is unbearable." But he said, and he called her by name. He says, honey, I'm going to get at the end of your road. And I want you to keep your eyes upon me. I don't want you to look to the right, and I don't want you to look to the left. I want you to look at me. And that young girl began to run, and she made the right flip at the right time, and she landed on those painful feet, and she won the gold medal for the United States of America. Even though she was in pain, and even though she was in agony, and her body screamed out in defeat, there was a passion on the inside that says, I'm going to do it. I'm going to win. I'm going to finish. And I'm going to do what I've been called to do. I watched that young man through the years fight the devil. I've seen him fight church conflicts. I've seen him watch people rise up in rebellion with false accusations. But in the midst of all of that, there was a desire and there was a passion that says, sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but I'm going to stand up and I'm going to live for God and I'm going to do what's right and I'm going to reach for the finish line and go all the way. Because I am a winner. This week, thousands of athletes have joined themselves together in London. And each one of them are reaching for a prize. A gold medal, if you please. Gold medal. Something to hang around their neck. They're not going to be paid anything for their feats. There is no $1 million prize at the end of the road. But they're running for the prize. When Paul wrote those words in 1 Corinthians, he was aware and very much familiar with the Olympics in Rome. How that those runners would run sometimes 25 miles across country. The thousands of gladiators in the arena would fight sometimes to the death. And he says they are running for a corruptible crown, a prize that is corruptible. Amen. But he says, I'm running a race. Yeah. I'm running a race that is incorruptible. They got to singing about a few minutes ago, when I get to heaven, I'm going to walk on streets of gold. I don't know if that excites you or not, but men in their lifetime will run to put on a golden medal on their neck. But one of these days, I'm going to walk on streets of gold because that's the ultimate prize of my life. But what is it that takes a young man and a young woman to pick up a torch and run and swim just to win a small gold medal? I'll tell you what it is. It's called passion.
Yes, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Called passion. Even though there are moments they train where they are absolutely in control of their mind. Every muscle screams quit. Every fiber of their mind says give up. Every ounce of their muscles scream quit. But passion says I'm not going to quit. Passion says I'm not going to give up. Passion says it may be painful. It may hurt me. I may be going through difficult times. It may be hard on me. But I am not going to stop. I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to back down. I'm running a race for a crown. I wonder sometimes how much passion the Christians have Is it a passion with you, or is it a pastime? Is it something that you just do on Sunday and on Wednesday? And by Monday afternoon, you're already ready to throw in the towel. Every time the devil rears his head up, you want to quit. Every time there's a little minor opposition, you say, you just want to back down and go to the corner and start crying. I caught that 15-year-old boy this week. And I said, God, take me back to my passion, to where I can be renewed with that original passion that I felt as a young teenage boy at an old-fashioned altar of prayer.
Thank you, Jesus.
Renew my burden, renew my consecration, renew my dedication, renew my desire, renew my thrill, because I'm not running a race to please people. I'm not running a race to please you, but I'm running a race because one of these days I'm going to walk around.
Jesus, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
I'm going for the gold. No. Not the gold on the streets, but the gold of a winner's crown.
Yes. Thank you, Jesus.
Is it a passion with you, sir? Or is it just a pastime? When God turns the corner and he drives down your street, what does he see? A shadow conviction? A weak-minded, feeble man or woman that bends with the wind at every ounce of resistance? Right. Are you someone that you want to live for God on Sunday, but on Monday you've already backslid? Are you someone that, well, you go to church and sometimes you don't want to go to church, and whatever will of the Spirit is in your mind, that's what you listen to? Is it a passion? Or is it a pastime?
Jesus.
I watched a young girl yesterday at the age of 16 every Saturday at outreach at 10 o'clock. It was a requirement of our churches. I watched my wife lay in bed last day on Facebook, calling some of you, inviting dozens of people to the house of God, not because she had to, not because she even wanted to, but the passion of that 16-year-old girl was revived back into her spirit. And she says, I just got to reach somebody. I just got to find somebody. God, renew my passion. And renew my burden. And renew my consecration. And renew my zeal and my desire to live for God.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes, Sir Paul was familiar with the race of the Olympics. And he said, I'm running a race. And the crown is not going to be corruptible. It's going to be an incorruptible crown. Hey, sir, do you really want to live for God? Hey, ma'am, do you really want to live for God? Well, let me tell you the honest truth. You got to have the want to.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you don't have the want to, you're not going to make it. Every fiber in your mind screams, give up. I don't want to pray. I don't want to go to church. I don't want to go to that altar. I don't want to live for God. Every fiber inside of your muscles running down the track. Your body screams out. Your mind screams out. I can't go no further. Hell's after your family. Hell's after your wife. Hell's after your job. devil's cap on your front door. And you fight him every day of your life. And hell says, why don't you just stop? Why don't you just quit? Why don't you just give up? But passion says, I don't think so. I don't think so, devil. You're not going to get my family. You're not going to get my wife. You're not going to get my children. Father, no, you're not going to get me. I may hurt. I may go through bad times. I may struggle. But passion says I'm a winner, and I'm going to make it all the way. Is it a passion? Or is it a pastime? I'm going to carry the torch. I'm going to lift high the flame. Brother Gandy, you've heard it. Why don't you just quit? Why don't you just throw in the I don't think so. Bodie, you've heard the voice, haven't you, son? Oh, the screams, the pain, the sorrow, the agony, the body crying in travail. But no, passion says, no. Everybody else can backslide. You can go to hell if you want to. You can choose to do what you want to do, but oh no, not for me. Passion says, I'm going to go forward, and I'm going to go for the goal, and I'm going to reach the prize.
Yes, Jesus. Yes, Jesus. Hallelujah.
If mama don't make it, if daddy don't make it, I'm going to make it. If your wife chooses not to go, that's her choice. I'm going to go. If your husband chooses not to live for God, that's all right. I'm going to live for God. It's not just a pastime. It's a passion. I choose to be a Christian. I choose to look like him. Nobody's putting a gun to my head. This is how I choose to live. You decide for you, and I'll decide for me. But for me and my house, I'm going to serve the Lord. I press toward the mark. I'm going to make it. I feel so much anointing right now. I wish to God I could lay hands on some of you and transfer my passion. Just reach over, take somebody's hand right now, would you? God, let there be a transfer of passion to this place. Oh God, let there be a transformation of your power. A desire. A desire. A passion.
Jesus. 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 Jesus.
I'm going forward. I may stumble. I may make mistakes. I may fall down. I may hurt myself. I may even damage others. But I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to keep going forward. I may have moments of depression. I may have years of defeat. I may hurt in my body. My mind may scream in turmoil. But on the inside, there's a passion of a 16-year-old boy that says, I'm going to build God a church. I'm going to pull people from the flames of hell. And I'm going to walk those streets of gold. And I'm going to make it all the way to the finish line. And like Paul, I fought a good fight. I finished the course. And I've kept the faith. Anybody want some passion? Shall we stand? I'm sorry. This goes over a lot of your heads because you're passionate about football.
Come on.
And you're passionate about soccer.
God, help us.
And you're passionate about sporting events.
Help us, God.
And you're passionate about other things of life. But when it comes to God, it's just a pastime. Come on, sir. And when you come, lay your hand on somebody, would you? And say, God, let some of their passion rub off on me. Let some of your passion rub off on me. Fill me with your passion. Fill me with desire. Fill me. Fill me. I feel a spirit of transformation trying to take place right now. The Lord healing marriages. The Lord is touching wounded, broken hearts. The Lord is restoring lost opportunities. He's rebuilding walls that have been broken. Minds that have been distorted. Spirits that have been disrupted. God's putting a desire in the womb of his people. That's right. Pray for your brother. Pray for your sister. All across this building, there are things taking place right now. Some of you don't understand. That's okay. That's quite all right. You will in years to come. The desire says, I'm going to make it.